Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video, and today I'm giving you guys my top 5 cryptos for right now. I think the 5 cryptos that I'm about to mention are gonna do really freaking well, and even though I'm not your financial advisor and this is in no way, shape or form financial advice, I honestly fully recommend you guys to do some research into the cryptos which I'm about to show you. We're also hosting a $10,000 giveaway right now, and if you haven't entered yet, make sure you check it out with the link down below. Our first crypto on the list has to be XRP. I think it's quite obvious as of this point that I like XRP a lot. And again, let's make a very good distinction. Ripple and XRP are not the same thing. XRP is a cryptocurrency and Ripple is a private US company. Now to give you guys a quick little rundown why I'm always so excited about XRP, I honestly think it's based upon a couple of different points that I can easily describe to you guys. Reason number one is obviously that this is the center of, I guess, crypto regulation over in the US. And that might sound strange to you, but crypto regulation is being figured out in the US as we speak, and since the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit about XRP is going on right now and is really the most critical lawsuit for crypto regulation in the US, well, if they just win that, or any step that they make really, is gonna set on the map more and more progress for crypto as a whole, I'd say. So that's one reason to be excited about it, because if they win, I think that's gonna be one of the craziest spurts in terms of price, and it could happen this year or early next year. There's a couple other pieces though. You can actually say that from one side, we enjoy it because Ripple, a company that is very much associated with XRP in a lot of ways, is putting a lot of good things forward for XRP in terms of utility. Again, make sure you understand Ripple is not the only company doing so. There's a lot of independent companies trying it as well, and there's a lot of ventures that just, I guess, standalone developers move into. But I'm just saying, Ripple does a lot of cool stuff for XRP as well. A lot of the stuff which they do actually falls within one of their software packages. Ripple, for example, has this thing called RippleNet, of which a part is called ODL, on-demand liquidity, and it actually utilizes XRP for cross-border transfers, basically getting rid of the current Nostro-Vostro system in cross-border transfers. As anybody might guess, cross-border transfers are a rather big problem, as they're ridiculously expensive for no real good reason. Ripple's trying to fix that, and a part of it utilizes XRP. Another one you might say is that they've actually gotten delisted in a lot of exchanges over in the US right now, but that could drastically change once we get some sort of clearance from the US SEC. And you might also say that right now there's not really much built on top of the XRP ledger of great importance just quite yet. But as the network keeps on growing and more features get added, a lot of crazy things might come up quite shortly here with the new feature that the XRP ledger had as well. Yeah, there could be a lot of building going on rather soon. The XRP's current price is roughly 33 cents, and my honest expectation is around $12 or so if we actually get a positive result in this lawsuit. But at the end of the day, it depends on so ridiculously many factors that it's really hard to say. But indeed, I am extremely bullish on XRP. Again, guys, make sure you understand this is not financial advice. I'm talking about these cryptos because I love them and I want to share them with you guys, but you still have to do your own research. Don't just believe me or don't believe a price prediction. Look it up yourself and check these things out. That's why I'm showing it to you. But my next quote on the list has to be Quant. A couple days ago, I made a pretty big update video explaining why I'm so excited about Quant, but I decided to put it in my top 5 crypto list here as well. Mostly because it's one of the cryptos with the craziest amount of actual token utility. And what I mean with that is, for a lot of the crypto projects that we know and love, the actual company above it, so to speak, the foundation or whatnot, is doing a lot of good things, but very often the token, the actual, in this case, QNT of Quant, might not get as much usage. Now with Quant, however, that's rather different. You need, for almost anything that I can think of within the network, Quant, by the way, is the network of networks, you need to hold or have, or I guess buy, this QNT token. You can just see for yourself here. You need it for everything on top of Quant, right? Enterprise licenses, developer licenses, platform fees, identity and account, transaction processing, application users, gateway and staking, investment and store of value. This one, of course, is not part of the show traditionally. But you can just kind of read for yourself. Users will need to hold QNT token to be able to run multi-chain applications. To run a gateway, there needs to be an annual fee fixed in fiat to be paid in QNT tokens. In addition to a license fee, platform fee calculated as a percentage of the license fee in QNT will be payable by all users and developers. A minimum Quant holding amount is put in place for every participant of the Overledger ecosystem. Quant tokens must be provided to Quant network in exchange for an annual license, and so forth and so on. You guys understand it. Just based upon that idea, if Quant's ecosystem just keeps on growing, which we all expect it to, right now it's at $100 per coin, I think could easily soar to $500 or so, which is still a very low estimate based upon what we think is going to be connected to their system. Again, if you'd like a more in-depth story about Quant, make sure you check out my channel, as I posted a video about Quant, I think like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. That was not in-depth, but a lot further at least. Now, I think my next pick is going to shock a lot of people, and that's actually for a good reason. I've picked this coin because of some features which a lot of these other cryptos just don't have, and at the end of the day, the reason I'm showing you guys 5 coins and not just one is because I recommend everybody to have a well-diversified portfolio. However, you gotta also understand, some people watching this might have $10 to their name, some people watching this might have $10 million to their name. A portfolio in a video like this is really hard to subclassify into, okay, you have this much money, so you buy these coins, you have this much money, so you buy these coins. Whenever I'm making a video like this, I try to make the most balanced portfolio for anybody watching. If you only have 10 cents, this works fine. If you have $1,000, if you have $60 million, this works fine. And so for that reason, we have this crypto in here as well. And it's actually Bitcoin. Many people disagree with having Bitcoin in a list like this. The reason being that the gain potential is a lot less than with a lot of other altcoins. But I'd like to say the opposite. If we had to put a real poll forward, or we're just using logic here, which crypto out of the entire list of cryptos has the highest probability to gradually increase over time with the lowest amount of volatility? Well, I would say Bitcoin has. Will it always stay number one? That I do not know. Is it really energy efficient? Absolutely no. Can that change? Yes. But the idea here is that if we're taking a look at, for example, the next 5 years, if I look at the entire list of cryptos, a lot of them I think will succeed. But which one has the highest probability to just gradually keep moving upwards where the rest of the cryptos follow it? It is really Bitcoin. And so if I had to make a portfolio, if somebody asked me, hey, which cryptos would you have in your portfolio? I'd always put some Bitcoin in there because it's the center of cryptocurrencies. It's what it's all based upon. Is Bitcoin the best? No. In almost nothing except maybe for storing value. For the rest, nothing it's really good at. And you have that very often with social media platforms, with anything, right? Very often you have a first mover advantage, even though it's not the best. Is there a better Twitter out there? Sure. Is there a better YouTube out there? Sure. They all have their own cons, or they were just not the first one to become really big at what they do. In theory, it's actually possible that this double spend problem, this whole idea behind Bitcoin was actually thought out already 1,000 times. But if nobody ever got that idea really public, well, how would you know? In the same sense, Bitcoin is just one of the things that was a really good idea at a really good time. It's the center of everything. It has the most amount of money in it. And I think because it has the most amount of institutional investment and most amount of interest from these higher ranks, it is going to gradually continue to go up with the lowest amount of risk for cryptos, I'd say. Even with XRP, you can compare it and say, oh, but XRP will most likely outperform Bitcoin. Most likely, yes. Right now, the Bitcoin price is 21,000. And the way I'd like to see it is, with XRP, for example, you have this risk that they lose the lawsuit. In theory, you have the risk of one company doing what they do, but then better. Because, again, they're not the first to get it done, which just literally is best because it's first. If we're talking $21,000 to where it can go, well, one of the things which people often say is that Bitcoin can get the value, basically, of gold, which would place it at about $500,000 to $500,000 per Bitcoin. Wait, $500,000 to $550,000 per Bitcoin? Why does it sound so weird? $500,000 to $550,000 per Bitcoin. But yeah, that's about a 25x from here, let's say. And I don't think that's too crazy over a longer period of time. I personally think Bitcoin is going to easily hit $1 million as well. And even though that's relatively only 50x gains from here, which a lot of other altcoins will beat, I think Bitcoin is one of the ones that's most certain to actually get it done. Again, with the lowest amount of risk, even though it is still risky, obviously. But if you have to pick between stocks and Bitcoin, I would choose Bitcoin. Next on the list is Algorand, and I can keep this one pretty simple. It's a very institutionally based or focused crypto. Some of the craziest partnerships in crypto, and you can kind of see it here, I think, as well. Over the last 6 months, the Algorand network has entered into partnership deals with FIFA, Quant Foundation, Nigerian government, Developing Africa Group, Koi Banks. However, no much needed relief for ALGO just yet, as of this point, there's a lot of early investors into Algorand selling it off, but I've heard the founder of this project speak. These guys are very well versed, they know exactly what they want to get done, and they're doing it at a really, I guess, good pace. You can see here the founder is a professor at MIT right now, a professor of computer science. These guys really know what they built. It's a platformer, and I think a lot of the price reduction here, a lot of it has to do with the unlocks for Algorand. As I said, a lot of early investors are dumping their coins still. That happens with Solana as well, happens with a ton of these cryptos that are newer to the game, as these institutional investors now have the chance to get some of the money back which they early invested into Algorand. Right now it is 30 cents, which is still a relatively good deal if you ask me. I think Algorand is also in the 30th place or 31st place. I think can easily shoot up toward 9th or so place over the next year or two, and also in terms of market cap, or let's just say price, increase drastically. I'm honestly expecting like a $20 to $40 Algorand is possible within a very short amount of time, but of course that depends on whether or not the bull run comes back. But that's also based upon the idea that it doesn't come back too soon, because otherwise there might still be too much of an unlock happening. The all-time high that it ever reached here in the all, you can see it was about $2 something, $2.50 let's say. So let's just put our own target here at $20 over the next couple of years. I think that's a pretty solid one. And my last coin on the list is BNB at a price of $280 right now. Again, some of you might watch this video in the future when crypto prices are even lower than they are today. It's surely possible, but honestly, to me, that does not matter too much. It could even be so that one of these cryptos will fail at some point. It's possible, which is why I always like to diversify. And I honestly think, let's say that in the worst of scenarios, it's possible. Binance, for example, the company primarily pushing BNB at the start. Obviously, BNB has grown out from Binance to now being officially BNB and not the Binance coin anymore. It's also not the Binance Smart Chain, but now the BNB chain. You know, this is a platform that has grown a lot. They've actually won an award as well for having the most amount of growth this year, and they're doing really good in terms of burns, which is one of the side notes as to why I'm always so excited about BNB, because they burn such a huge amount. At the end of the day, this is actually a lot of money. You might look at it and think, oh, it's only, for example, $500 million or so, right? That's not too crazy on a $45 billion market cap. But can you imagine just casually burning $500 million every single time just to make sure your supply reduces? I don't know, it's pretty good to me. Remember that the more the supply reduces, the better, because that means your token is worth more due to scarcity. But to come back on my point, let's say hypothetically speaking that Binance eventually does fail and the BNB token doesn't really live up to the expectations, even though that's a pretty small chance because it's a thriving ecosystem, and regardless of what happens to Binance, BNB will survive just fine. Even then, the other 4 coins that we picked just now will most likely have such a crazy amount of gains that it will outdo all the damage which one coin failing has done. Let's say we had a $1,000 portfolio. We put $200 into all 5 of these coins, and one of these coins just fades or scams us, whatever. We are left with $800 in investments in 4 different cryptos. Let's say again that my expectations come true over the next 3 years. Now let's draw it out. Over the next 5 years. Our little list of cryptos 40x's, you can kind of guess, right? So from $1,000, we lost 20% of that. Okay, sucks. But let's just say that our $800 went to $32,000 over the next couple of years. I wouldn't really be too surprised if that would have happened. And then if we had everything, for example, we might have had $40,000 or pick something. But in my opinion, it's still going to be just fine. But really, that's one of the reasons why I like to just kind of spread it out over multiple different crypto. You don't know which of these cryptos is going to really be the banger. I, in 2017, invested in so ridiculously many cryptos, and one of the ones which I actually did not believe in much at all is just a bot that bought it for me. It actually turned out to be the best amount of gains I've ever made. And now it can be so again, that you might be focused only on one single cryptocurrency, but that might not be the crypto that makes you absolutely wealthy or what. It might just be one of the cryptos that you saw in a list like this, or that you stumbled upon by accident. I like to always have a little bit of an investment into a lot of different cryptos, purely because what if it does 1000x all of a sudden? Some strange mindset to have maybe, but with these cryptos that I've just told you guys about, I hold a lot of this, and I honestly think these are all solid for the next couple of years. There's a very small chance I'm going to have to lower my investment. I'll only increase them. And even though they're already relatively big, I think there's also a good benefit in that, well, there's just a good chance that these are going to stick around. They're relatively safe as far as cryptos can be, as they're already so huge, and that just makes things a little bit less painful in the head to manage. You don't want to look at your screen almost every single day, hoping that your cryptos haven't just tanked by 99%. As with these cryptos, I think we're pretty solid on that. And yeah, with BNB, I expect this ecosystem to thrive so much that I wouldn't be too surprised to see $2,500 per BNB in the next, maybe even just the next bull run. Right now, again, the price is about 280, which means about a 10x the next bull run. I wouldn't be too surprised of that, honestly. Their ecosystem is thriving so much. Last time they hit about $650. So yeah, it could be crazy, but yeah. Not too strange, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was it for today's crypto video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And join my $10,000 giveaway. Do not forget about it. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.